Take 93, and the Tino take comes full circle. What an interesting coincidence today. Today we got Steam musings. The South Korean takeover. Question mark. Question mark. Pay attention, there's a question mark there. The South Korean takeover. But first, Steam musings. I have not done Steam musings. I don't even remember the last time I did Steam musings. My Tino take, this Tino take now has been so chopped up. I've taken so many of the segments and created other smartcasts, and I thought of Steam musings today, and I said, wait a minute, I could do a Steam musings smartcast. I could just kind of, but then I thought to myself, well, what will be left of the Tino take? And that doesn't mean I won't do it, though. I might actually put together a Steam musings where I can just kind of focus on thoughts about Steam. Yeah. But in the meantime, we're still on the Tino take. And to be honest, I'm not really worried about the Tino take running out of subjects. I really wouldn't have that kind of problem. But it's good to be back with the Tino take with so many smartcasts. Most of them are now being separated out, probably with about 10 days distance, because there are many different types. I don't do one every day. I actually took off with this project thinking to myself, I'm going to do 2 or 3 smartcasts a day, being that they're short segments now, but it has not turned out that way. But I like how things have turned out. Steam musings. Steam musings. Have not done one of these in a while. The South Korean takeover. Question mark. You know, there's a lot of talk about the price of Steam, and people carefully watch the price of Steam, and you know, they have all of this jargon, this market jargon, financial jargon, and I try to do my best to understand all of this stuff, but I don't stay on cryptos as hard as certain people do. I mean, I like to check the price every day if I can. I mean, it only takes a few seconds. And there's the comfort of certain pages where the price just kind of pops up anyway. So, you know, you always have it in mind. It's kind of like, oh, okay, so Steam went up a couple of cents today. Steam went down a couple of cents today. But there's always this atmosphere. There's always this atmosphere of we got to get the price of Steam to go up. We always got to get the price of everything to go up. It's that kind of infinite growth mentality that is really destroying the entire global economy, has destroyed all kinds of financial systems, because infinite growth is an illusion. Infinite growth is just not, it's not sustainable. It's not realistic. So I've neither been bullish nor bearish when it comes to Steam. But I'm kind of off topic a bit. The other day, I just kind of happened to go into the trending page on Steemit. And lo and behold, as is expected, the same personalities pop up, mostly South Korean. And other posts that are up in the trending page are probably pegged there. They're probably pinned there by the Steemit team. Otherwise, you wouldn't make it into the trending page. Now, I've always had a great deal of respect for the South Korean presence in Steemit. I mean, you have witnesses, you have markets, you have an exchange that goes from directly from Steam to the South Korean won. And so I've always thought, wow, it's great that this particular group of people has such a great interest in Steam, the blockchain, and Steemit, the app. And fair play to them. I mean, you've got to give credit. You got to give credit where credit is due. And I've been watching them since last year, because they really came onto my radar really when there was the Steam Hive split. And I noticed that there was a real huge big jump in the exchanges when it comes to steam to the Korean won, the South Korean won. And so there was a lot of money coming in and going out and being exchanged, and lots of different steamit communities are run by the South Korean community. They've got all kinds of upvote bots and delegation services. I mean, they really, and I remember I used to think a whole lot about, wow, this group of people is, I won't use the word isolated, but they never really got into, after the Steam Hive split, they never really got into, the Steemit team and the rebuilding of the Steemit app. They kind of stayed on their own course and really dominated the trending page, right? And that's, I mean, any of us who've been on Steemit for a while, and any of us have been on Steemit since last year, we know that's the case. I mean, we've always known. And before the Steemit team began to pin certain people up in the trending page, I mean, it was practically all Korean. I mean, you really had to scroll down a lot in order to get anything other than the South Korean language. Now, why am I bringing this up now? Because the other day, out of curiosity, I went to the trending page. And what's interesting is that after all this time, I never realized how unimportant the trending page is and how unimportant the trending page has become, at least to me. Obviously, if somebody's coming in from the outside, and if you're looking from the perspective of people coming into the main page, then it is important. But for a lot of people, ever since the hive mind was, and for those who don't know, the Steemit communities, the project was called Hive Mind. That's why all of the communities have a tag with the word hive and a number, a hyphen and a number, because the original project was called Hive Mind. I don't know if the original intention was to call them communities, but I know that the project was Hive Mind. I know that Ned Scott went to, I believe he went to South Korea, and he pitched the idea over there. He talked about the idea over there, and then, whatever happened, and that he didn't continue with that. But we got the Hive Mind running, and we've got the communities, the Steemit communities running. Okay. Yeah, I always notice when I'm taking too long to get to the point. Okay, so I went to the trending page, and I saw it's got still the same personalities from the South Korean group. But, oh man, they have really put something together. I don't even know what to call it. I mean, you got posts that are getting $400 plus dollars, Steam dollars, that is. And think about SBD, my goodness. 400, 300, 200 reward payout. I mean, what the hell is going on? I mean, I always knew that there was going to be this constant growth because they're all supporting each other. I mean, they've really, I tried to get in and understand some of these things, whether it's Zzan, whether it's SCT. I didn't get far. I tried to kind of infiltrate my way into this South Korean success story, and it was too complicated for me. So I kind of backed away and then just did other things. But there are posts that are getting 400 plus SBD as a value. My goodness. I mean, it made me think of the subject of people who are concerned about abuse, quote unquote abuse on Steemit, people farming, people milking, people. But to see that amount of, to see that amount of money in the hands of a group, there's one or two things that one thinks about, and that is a massive dump. Because, I mean, if you're getting $400 a day for a simple post, I mean, can you imagine what kind of power that gives you over a period of time, whether you're going to be in the position of dumping or whether you're going to be in the position of looking at leadership, looking at witnesses. I said this in the past. I said this a long time ago. I said, keep your eyes open because this can become a power struggle. I don't know if that's the case or not. I just simply look from the outside, look at the situation, look at the facts, and then come up with some hypotheses. there could be and I said this long ago, and then I just kind of put it out of my mind, and then it came back up again when I looked in the trending page, because these people used to get maybe 50, 60, 100, and there it was kind of like, okay, well, they got a decent support system. They help each other. They support each other. They have huge accounts. They've really organized themselves well. Apart from that, they have this exchange that allows you to go from fiat directly into the crypto, Steem to fiat. That has to be the end game. I mean, if Steem is going to become a token worthy of being looked into apart from the social media part, you have to have a crypto to fiat exchange. And with the South Korean won having this immediate exchange, it really amplifies the value. So out of curiosity, I said, okay, I'm going to go have, because I don't know if it was a couple of weeks ago, I said to someone mentioned that you have to, in order to understand the price of Steem, you have to also look at the Asian markets. And I thought that they were talking about the Korean won, the South Korean won, because in the past, if you would go to CoinMarketCap, you would see that the South Korean won is the main currency that is being exchanged for Steem. And ever since the Tron Foundation came in, and ever since Justin Sun and everything that happened with the Hive Steem split, there's been a huge interest in Binance taking a huge interest in Steem and being the top holder of Steem. So I commented towards this person saying, well, the Asian market really doesn't have any more significance because Binance now is the number one trader of Steem, and they trade it in Bitcoin or Ethereum. So I thought about this Steem musing today, and I thought about, wow, this is a powerful buildup. This is a powerful buildup. Whether they're putting it into Steem power, or whether they're putting it onto the market in order to sell it off, we're talking about a huge quantity of rewards that are being cashed in, and which could have a great effect. And that great effect can either go into dumping, which kills the price, or aiming for the leaderships, aiming for the witnesses. I'm just hypothesizing here. I have no clue. I have no evidence. I have nothing to back up anything that I'm saying. It's just simply a question mark. This is a musing. This is a Steem musing. It just jumped on my radar. The South Korean community is still doing excellent. Most of the Steem communities are run by South Koreans. And then I decided, okay, well, let me go have another look at the CoinMarketCap today. And what do you know? The number one position goes back to the South Korean won. I don't know when this happened, how long ago, because it was just, I don't know, maybe a week, 10 days ago where I checked, and, Binance was up there as number one. But now we've got the Steem exchange for the South Korean won. But I'm looking at CoinMarketCap, and they have a category known as liquidity. And there's a very, very low score when it comes to liquidity, whereas Binance has a very high score when it comes to liquidity. So that means that either there's a lot of selling or a lot of buying. There's not a lot of liquidity in the South Korean won market when it comes to exchanging Steem. This is a theory. The reason why it's up there's probably a lot of dumping going on. There's probably a lot of selling off because, you post up on Steem it, right? You get your votes. If you got $400 as the value of your post, 50-50, half of that you're going to get, half of that's going to go to the curators. You're still talking about 200 SBD. You're still talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Steem tokens that are more than likely being sold off in this South Korean market. So, that's my Steem musings for the day, man. I don't know where that came out of. I will be considering Steem musings as another Smartcast. And knowing me, it will probably go ahead. And then the question remains, What do you talk about on the Tino take? And if you talk about something, does it end up being another separate Smartcast? Anyway, listen, it's always great to be with you. Thank you for the support and thank you for listening. Don't know when we'll catch up for another Tino take, but enjoy all the other Smartcasts in the meantime.